Let's get into it.
Also, a woman who was arrested with a lot of fentanyl. Now, just how much fentanyl? We're going to discuss that with our Tyler Fingert, who joins us live. And Tyler, I understand it was enough fentanyl to kill upwards of 12 million people.
Yeah, Ariel, good afternoon to you. That's right. According to prosecutors and according to her arrest warrant, this woman was found with nearly 25 kilograms of fentanyl. And so you may be wondering, what does that look like in pounds? That's roughly 57 pounds of fentanyl, enough to kill more than 12 million people, which is everyone in the state of Georgia. And they also say that she is linked to a Mexican drug cartel. I want to show you
So
what
only
this
people
woman
who's gonna
looks
have
like.
that
We
much.
just got her mugshot within the last about hour or so from the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office.
Celia.
This is 34-year-old Celia Lara Rios. She was arrested back in July in Gwinnett County by Auburn police. She was supposed to appear in a Gwinnett County courtroom this afternoon about an hour ago, but a short time ago, her attorney told the judge that they were withdrawing her request for bond. Here's what we know. According to Lara Rios' arrest warrant, Auburn police say she was found with 24.9 kilos of fentanyl. Investigators say she was trafficking the drug and is linked to the Jalisco New Generation cartel. Prosecutors say when she was arrested, she had a child in the car with her. According to the DEA, Lara Rios was found with enough fentanyl to kill more than 12 million people. Officials say it takes just 2 milligrams to potentially
Yep.
kill a
We
person.
looked at that
It's
before.
unclear if the amount seized was all fentanyl or if it was mixed in with other drugs. Again, she was supposed to appear inside a courtroom here at the Gwinnett County Justice Center, but during that hearing, the defense attorney came up and said they decided to withdraw that motion for bond. It's unclear exactly why that happened. It's also unclear when she will be appearing in court once again, but this is a story we're going to be following. I should also mention she did request bond and did file a motion for bond, but according to the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office, she has an ICE hold, so it's unclear even if she would have been even given bond in this case.
Yeah, Tyler, very interesting. And, you know, for those who are streaming along with us or just joining, this arrest happened in Gwinnett County. And the Jalisco cartel that you were just mentioning, that cartel in the state of Jalisco there in Mexico, is one that we've heard a lot about in the news because we've actually been discussing some different news conferences that we know our Attorney General Pam Bondi has held with different updates regarding fentanyl and other drugs that law enforcement has been able to seize. So as we look at this case, what are the next steps for investigators and this woman as she progresses through the justice system?
Yeah, so that's actually obviously a really good question. This was a bond hearing, so eventually she's going to have to appear before. They're going to have a preliminary hearing at some point, possibly another bond hearing if the defense attorney decides that they want to file another motion for bond. So we'll have to wait and see to see how all of this unfolds. But obviously, this is a big story, and I'll tell you, this arrest happened back in July, as I mentioned, but we really didn't even hear about this case until yesterday when the Gwinnett County District Attorney's Office was talking about this to say that there's a big case that they're going to have today, a bond hearing, and they were recommending media outlets come out here, and that's why we're out here, and we were learning the new details today when we were able to obtain that arrest warrant from the Gwinnett County Clerk of Courts, and then when I saw the eye-popping number of 24,900 and some odd grams, which then transitions to about 24.9 kilograms of fentanyl, you just know that that is a huge amount, and again, she's accused of trafficking this, so this is going to be a big case that they really want to be able to
They're gonna throw the book
prosecute
at her.
and really want to make an example of this person, especially since they say she is connected to a Mexican drug cartel.
Tyler, yeah, and just incredible to think, too, she had a child in the car with her with all of this. You were speaking a little bit about just how little, the small amount of these drugs it can take to kill someone. Incredible to think the amount in her car could have affected the population of the state of Georgia. But when you look at these small amounts, to think there was a child in the car and that volume of drugs, it's just incredible.
Yeah, with fentanyl, I mean, if you think about grains of salt, I believe it's like 5 to 7 grains of salt is enough to kill someone. And what's so interesting about this, when 57 pounds is roughly what prosecutors say she had in, for people at home who use obviously our imperial system instead of the metric system, 57 pounds. If you are boarding an aircraft in the United States, you are allowed to check a bag up to 50 pounds and you pay more for 70 pounds. So if you think about that, that could be a suitcase size of fentanyl that they had in that they ended up finding her with. And it's unclear whether it was pills or what kind of form this was in, but obviously this is a big concern for the folks in Gwinnett County and the different law enforcement agencies involved in this as they tried to obviously prosecute this case.
Tyler, thank you so much. That analogy was great to put it in perspective because, yeah, if you're trying to conceptualize, well, how heavy is this amount of grams? To think about it in a suitcase you'd bring to the airport, that is quite heavy. So, Tyler Finger, thank you so much for the update on this story. I'm sure you're going to be on top of it as it progresses.
Absolutely wild. 20, what does they say? 24.9 kilograms of fentanyl. But let's get over into this article. So let's zoom in some so everybody can see. So, like we said, that's her. When she was taken into custody, prosecutors said Laura Rizos had a child in the car, like we mentioned. That's crazy. That's one of the craziest parts. Because there's one little accident, and the child could, because the child like to put things in their mouth. Maybe she was taught differently, but one little accidental slip up where she grabs something she thinks it's candy, she puts it in her mouth, the child would have been gone. Absolutely crazy. So, you could have put child endangerment in there, but now she faces 2 felony charges: trafficking and more. So that's one charge: trafficking morphine, opium, or heroin in excess of 28 grams, and using communication facilities in the commission of a felony involved controlled substance. It says that she's being held on an ICE detainer, and authorities described the bus as one of the largest fentanyl seizures in Georgia. Yeah, like she said, it was 24,958 grams of fentanyl, enough to kill 12 million people. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like I've said before, anybody who's trafficking or anything deals fentanyl deserves to be sentenced to the maximum because it's so deadly. They don't care, and you got to make an example out of them. You have to make an example out of them. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. Well, now she's in jail for the rest of. She might be in jail for the rest of her life. Probably, and then she's gonna get because she's on an ICE detainer. So I don't know how all that process is gonna take, but they're gonna make an example out of her. They are going to make an example out of her. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how much time you think she should get. Maybe she was having the kid in the car. She was probably thinking, if I get stopped, they're not going to do too much because we got a kid in the car. Absolutely crazy. All right, everybody, remember this is AC Reviews the Word. Remember to like and subscribe.